Welcome, guys. I'm Carl Reed, college sports analyst, 24/7 Sports, and I'm here with my guy, Darrien Rencher, the legendary guy himself. I mean, he's doing such a great, phenomenal job across all platforms. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, my OG. Look, we're good. Glad to be joined on this episode. Let's do it.
So I'm gonna throw a fastball to you right down the middle.
All right.
I text you during the Georgia Tech Clemson game. And I say, DJ U, we got to get him out of here. He's killing us on offense. We got to get Cade in. And you were really going hard for him. You were going hard against me. You were going hard for him on Twitter. And so then to see what he did in the Wake Forest game last Saturday, did he silence the critics? Does he have the receipts now? Does the hating have to stop? Because he balled Saturday, and Clemson ended up winning the game because he balled and made the play.
I know. Look, here's what I'm going to say. A lot of people having to bust some U-turns when it comes to DJU right now. They was going one way. It's time to turn that back around. And to me, I think to the staff, to the players that play with him, nobody's surprised what he's doing. That's what I've been saying for even since last year. Like, you don't luckily throw and break the passing record Notre Dame on accident. You don't come back from a crazy comeback win against BC in 2020 on accident. Like, he's shown signs of greatness, but last year, I mean, we just had a lot going on, and he caught the brunt of a lot of just bad stuff as a quarterback. We just couldn't help him out, and he wasn't helping himself. But through all that, nobody ever questioned his commitment, his character, his hard work. And you just hate to see that it didn't transfer over to the performance. And what I've been saying was like, look, I think he is the guy. He's shown he could be the guy. It's just ready for him to kind of take that. And this offseason, dude lost 30 pounds. Like, ain't too many people out there nowhere that's going to be committed enough to lose 30 pounds. But man lost 30 pounds, came back slimmer than ever. And then just to see him kind of go out there and put together these past couple of games, to me, it's been just relieving for him. I know for the people that believe in him, because it's like finally he's been who everybody knew he was. Because if he had these performances last year, everybody would have been like, that's what he's supposed to be doing. He had one bad year in his 20 years of existence, and it's like people are surprised. Now, this is what he's been doing. Bro was a five-star quarterback. Like, five-star quarterback, played at Clemson. Clemson is Clemson. And so I think Coach Swinney, just to see his belief in him, and that's what I told you. We talked about this, or just a couple of us did. The quarterback position is the only position I feel like you have to be super hesitant as a head coach to switch, or to give the rank to somebody else, because it's so delicate. Because once you do that, you got to fall on that sword.
Yeah. And
so people was calling for DJ's head, and I ain't gonna say it wasn't even like, I understood why, because you got a highly touted backup quarterback in Cade Klubnik, who's gonna be special and is special already, and DJ was looking. It was slowly, but he was looking a lot like last year at times to get the first couple games. But Coach Swinney knows if he would have pulled him then, you lose. DJ's a leader on that team. And so now I think you see, once again, look, hats off to Coach Swinney, makes another critical quarterback decision. In the past, it was making that change. This year, it's riding with the guy you know to be the guy.
Are we too quick to compare the DJ and Cade Klubnik situation to Trevor Lawrence and Kelly Bryant, and what happened there? Is because he made that change with Trevor? Is that what everybody was looking for, especially when DJ was struggling? And are those situations, you were on that team and you've also been on the team with DJ, are these situations completely different, or are there similarities there?
It's similarities to us a little bit. I think it's more different than similar though. And this is the way I would describe it. So you look at Kelly Bryant. Kelly Bryant, we lost to Alabama in the playoffs, and they went on to win that year. So hats off to them. But Kelly was an ACC title. He was the MVP of the game. He led us to ACC championship. I mean, he did everything besides win a Cincinnati that year. So he had a lot more time. He bought a lot more time. I see DJ bought himself coming off last year. Last year, we don't win ACC. We don't go to the playoffs. We barely win 10 wins. We struggle. And so I think the pressure to actually have a real battle was a lot more urgent than Kelly and Trevor. Coach Swinney had to let Kelly kind of play it, and it was just kind of inevitable. Bro, you got Trevor Lawrence, who just he's doing what he's doing in the league now. You know what I'm saying? He's Trevor Lawrence, like generational guy. Like it was just the time was just ticking for that to kind of play out. This is different because I don't think DJ had as much time as Kelly. Like this could have been if Coach Swinney would have made a decision in camp. I think nobody on the outside would have been surprised. Like it was like, all right, Cade could have been QB1 going to the first game because it's like it's a true competitive. And even Georgia Tech, I mean, even after DJ kind of brought us back, Cade went in there and had that one drive, and like who would have been mad at Coach Swinney? Like if he would have been like, Cade gets to run out there first next week, let's see what happens, like they did in Michigan. And so I think it was just different. But to me, I think it's played out the best way possible. And I think DJ deserved the right to go prove to be who he's proved to be these past couple games.
So on my show The Block a few episodes back, you told me, you stood on the table for it. You said that the next special DB out of Clemson was going to be Nate Wiggins.
I did say that.
You said that.
I said that.
And so Saturday, he really struggled against Wake Forest, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I said in that is Sam Hartman is a great quarterback, and you always have to account for that, especially because Nate is still a young guy, so we don't want to be too hard on him. But what would you be saying to him going from a mental standpoint, going from the performance against Wake Forest, where he was highly criticized, into a huge game against NC State, where they got to play against Devin Leary, who's going to probably be a first-round pick in the draft? What would you be telling Nate right now, mindset-wise, going into this game?
I would say, I would probably add Torrey to that conversation too. I brought Toriano Pride. I mean, both of those guys, by nature, kind of injuries right now, are stepping into really big roles. Nate was kind of already in that role. I think Toriano's Pride is stepping into that role just because we got like four scholarship corners and they got to play. I would just tell them, like, man, DB's a tough job. Like, I mean, it might be, besides quarterback, it might be the toughest job on the field because at any moment, you can have a great game but be exploited in one play. People think you suck, quite frankly. And so I think it's one of those situations where I think Nate had a great learning opportunity, and it's great to see it become a win, not a loss. Because if it was a loss, it'd be a lot more fingers pointed than there already were at the DB room. But I think it's definitely an area of concern and like where improvement. I mean, those guys, Nate especially has all the talent there. I think for him, it's just whatever little details that he needs to clean up with him and Coach Mike Reed. I think they definitely that would have to be an emphasis this week going into this next game because as a coach, man, it's professional courtesy. That's a phrase I heard throughout my entire career. Team, when people will look at us and we look at the teams, it's like if NC State, if the ball is dry enough to at least put your hands on it, if they don't sling that ball out there at least a couple of times to see if we can clean up the PIs, to see if we can turn and play the ball, like Dave Doran's definitely, that's the game plan, is to try these cornerbacks. And I would say, man, Nate, you got another opportunity. You at Clemson, you on national stage, college game day. You go ball out this weekend. Who the hell cares what happened to Wake Forest,
Right.
Now,
you brought up Toriano, so this is going to bring me to another question. Toriano, 5-star guy. I was his high school coach. We look at Evan Stewart at Texas A&M, right? He got suspended a couple weeks ago in this game. You look at Luther Burden and what's been going on in Missouri. Are we putting too much pressure on these young guys? Are the expectations sometimes too high for these young players? Now, you played at Clemson, so you understand this. Is it really realistic to the fans and to the people who expect for these guys to be able to come in, guys like Nate Wiggins, guys like Toriano, Evan Stewart, Luther Burden? Is it too unrealistic for us to expect these guys to be able to come on a college campus and from day one be able to compete at a championship level? Or do we have to be patient in their development?
Man, I would say, to me, as a coach, but then I would say fans, for them to learn, I think football is a developmental game. To me, you want to see flashes of improvement and just flashes of greatness. And I think they all are going to show that this season as they get more opportunity. I think they've already, some of them have already shown that. Now, it takes a really special player to come in freshman year and really be counted on to be the guy. I'm not saying these guys can't do that. And I would just say, on that same note, you can't really get mad because, recruiting these guys, they want to play. So, hey, be careful what you're asking for. I mean, you play, like everybody wants to go and be like, I want to play as a freshman. I want to be freshman All-American. I want to go beat a guy right away. And that comes with a lot of responsibility, especially these high major programs, a lot of expectation. And so, man, I would say, I don't know if it's unrealistic, unexpected. I think it just comes with the territory, and you would love to see fans just be like, I've been saying this all season. It's one thing to critique performance, and that just comes with that. Man, you were playing football. This ain't patty cake. This ain't two-hand touch. Like, this is big boy football. It's one thing to be a hater. I would tell people, hey, don't be a hater because that ain't good for the world. But critique performance, hey, like, bro, they got torched last week. I mean, it don't take nobody to know football to know that something when the quarterback is passing the ball, something on defense is going wrong, and we need to fix it. And like I said, I think this week those guys, I don't know what the injury report is looking like. I think a couple of those guys are still going to be out. And so, I mean, those guys are going to have to play again, and they're going to have an opportunity to redeem themselves. And that's kind of what you want to see as a coach. Hey, look, you came to play this high-level program. You playing on College game day. Go respond.
NC State game Saturday at Clemson.
Yeah.
Big time, prime time television game.
Yeah.
What does Clemson need to do to come out as the winner on Saturday?
Yeah, so I mean, this game to me is one of those, like, it's going to be a rain game unless the guy just clears up the skies for this weekend. But it kind of reminds me, just like, there's been a lot of culture created around rain games at Clemson. You look at the Notre Dame game in 2015. That's when Coach was bring your own guts. That's when that whole thing was birthed. And so, to me, this game is shaped up to kind of have that same feel. And like, if anybody's kind of paid attention, I think definitely within the conference, but now it's kind of a national conversation now. It's College game day. But this Clemson-NC State game in the past 7 years, I was in it for 6 years, has been like it's been a little chippy, you know. Like, I think the coaches they both got a little edge in this one, and the players kind of lean into that too. There's been a lot of funny things happen over the years where it was Bradley Chubb taking Kelly Bryant's towel. They thought we were cheating because we had a computer on the sideline. I remember they knocked out Wayne Gallman in the game, and they kind of said some stuff online. Like, this has been a game, and then we go to NC State last year, and they beat us in double OT. And so this game has – every game's important. That's kind of the mantra at these power programs. Every game's important. But not every game is special like this one. And so I know Coach Dorn is like, hey, if we want to go beat a program, we want to go beat. We got to go. It's one thing to beat them at home, but to me, you really make a statement for the conference and for the national conversation. You go to Death Valley in the longest streak in college football right now, cut the head off the dragon, and there ain't nobody gonna be asking no questions no more. Because that's I know that's what he's telling them. But on the flip side is like, look, we gave him a mulligan last year, right? Come to the crib, and it's like, let's do what we do. It's still NC State, and let's make a statement. It's still our league. So I think whoever wins this game, to me, will win this side of the division, and most likely will win the league if I'm thinking correctly. And so, I mean, it's a huge game, and it's cool to see the conference have two top 10 teams, which I think both are deservedly. And I want to see a blowout personally. For the league, it'll probably be good to see a close game. But I think we're going to definitely have to run the ball, which has been pretty effective for us the past couple of games. I think stats are alluding to, you know, like, you look at the stats, look at the flow of the game. We had a couple big pops. I would love to see us, and I think this game, especially if it's going to be a rain game, we got to be more efficient, like getting 5, 6, 7, 8 a clip. Like, we'll have like a 53-yard run by Shipley and then be fighting for 2 yards. You know what I'm saying? We just got to be more efficient that way. And so I think you got two heavyweights. It's going to be something chippy is going to happen. Somebody's going to say something in the media here soon. It's going to be on a bulletin board. You know what I'm saying? Be on a bulletin board for the Friday night meeting. But I think it's shaping to be a good game.
Well, that's going to do it for us today, man. I thank you for joining on. It's always real. We'll jump back on here next week. We'll see how this game went.
Yeah, we definitely got to talk about it because
we got to talk about it.
Got to talk about it.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you.